Yo, Corey D. Come on, man. Javon Curse, vintage Titan, man. I've been waiting to get a Javon Curse that wasn't trash. Man, y'all know I be scouring $15. You know what I'm saying? Be catching the deals, man. Vintage Titan episode gonna come out soon too, man. Appreciate y'all, man. This is Sunday. I ain't dropped the episode in a few days, man. Y'all know it's the end of spring break. The kids is at an Easter egg hunt right now. So I said I got a little time before it's a bunch of noise in the background. And appreciate y'all tapping in. The OGs is in the building. Mr. Bad Take 52, She, what up? All right, man. Y'all know why I'm here. Y'all know people don't like to engage the shop, but just like in the Madden, just like in the gaming, we influence people. We know they be watching, but they don't want to engage us. So that's cool. Let me show y'all how to do this. I put out the Devil's Advocate video about pros and cons of taking Ruben Bain, pros and cons of taking Jeremiah Love. And I had somebody in the comment like, well, it's not Eddie George. It's not Javon Curse. Nobody is ever going to be Javon Curse. Nobody is ever going to be Eddie George. Not even Derrick Henry is Eddie George. Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. Eddie George is Eddie George. Earl Campbell is Earl Campbell. DeMarco Murray is DeMarco Murray. Lindell White is Lindell White. Chris Johnson is Chris Johnson. That's how it works. You don't replace a great. Nobody can ever be Jordan. Nobody can ever be LeBron. Nobody can ever be Magic. It won't be another Curry. You got to let somebody be what they're going to be. And the question you have to ask yourself is, do you think that one of the players that we drafted for will have the impact of a Javon Curse that will be the face of the defense? Do you think somebody we draft on offense will be the face of the offense with Cam Ward that will have the impact of Eddie George? That's the question you have to ask yourself, because when I see people going back and forth about, oh, I don't want a running back because he's going to be high paid. What difference do it make? We just guaranteed Dan Moore $20 million. Do you believe in the player or do you not believe in the player? Oh man, Harold Landry ain't worth $17 million until you see him playing in the Super Bowl. Do you think Lloyd Cushenberry is worth $55 million? Do you think Isaiah Wilson is worth the money he got as a number one pick that played 7 snaps and went to jail and was traded for a 7th round pick to the Dolphins? Do you think Caleb Farley was worth 1st round money? Do you think Treylon Burks was worth the money? We didn't pay A.J. Brown $25 million and he went to 2 Super Bowls and won one. We gave Treylon Burks $16 million and he caught like 1 touchdown as a Tennessee Titan. Like, what are we talking about? And I got the trump card for the people that's naysayers to the things I say. Do you believe the draft pick will have the impact of Nick Emmanwori that put their defense over the top that sent them to the Super Bowl? Do you believe that when Cooper DeJean and Quinion Mitchell was both drafted back-to-back for the Eagles, that those were going to be players that were going to be inserted and going to be impactful on the defense that shut out the Chiefs? When the Chiefs got rid of Tyreek Hill and had all those draft picks, and you look at George Karlaftis and Mac Duffy and Sky Moore, and they brought in Kadarius Toney and all the players that they brought in that draft, those Isaiah Pacheco's, the Jalen Watsons, all those late round picks that wind up like, do you believe the draft pick is going to be impactful for your team or don't you? Because here's the trick. When people start talking about, oh, he's going to be high paid. Well, how much would you have paid K9? If you had Kenneth Murray, you're going to pay Kenneth Murray that type of money, right? So guess what? Let's pull it up. This is the question that they don't want to ask you. Cam Ward got a $48 million 4-year contract. $32 million of his $48 million is in signing bonuses. His average salary is still down to say that it's going to be $16 million divided by 4 in 4 years. Look at his base salaries. His base salary is $1 million. They're paying him $8 million a year in signing and roster bonuses. Stop crying about how much this person is going to get paid when most of it's going to be in bonuses. The cap went up. We have plenty of money. Do you believe Jeremiah Love will transform the offense? Or do you, I'm not a person that is like a positional value person when you comes to draft picks. Oh, you want to save money on that original contract because he's a receiver. We just passed on Alec Pierce because he's getting $30 million. What difference does it make? Oh, well, Wan'Dale got 17. Yeah, and $38 million of it is guaranteed. But the same people that don't want you to spend the money on Love have to understand that if Tony Pollard plays next year, he's going to make $9 million. He's going to make $9 million if you don't cut Tony Pollard and you let him play. Do you believe in the player or don't you believe in the player? That's the ultimate goal. Nobody's going to make me believe because, the positional value of quarterback, we gave $120 million to Ryan Tannehill and almost lost Derrick Henry. And we sitting here fighting with Derrick Henry over $12 million because of positional value. Then the position of running back takes CMC and the 49ers to the Super Bowl, takes the Lions to the NFC Championship, and has them winning playoff for the first time in damn near 50 years. Saquon Barkley, the positional value, they paid Daniel Jones 4 years, $160 million, and let Saquon go to the Eagles. The Eagles paid him his money. Who cares what position Saquon Barkley plays? Who's better, Daniel Jones or Saquon Barkley? The Eagles paid him his money, just like they paid A.J. Brown his money, and guess what they got? The greatest season ever from a running back. 2,000 yards, and he dominated in the playoffs, and they beat the shit out of the Chiefs. So stop worrying about positional value from these nerds sitting behind a desk trying to convince you that because this player pays this position that you have to save money and value. If you're going to pay a player, is he good or isn't he not good? That is the end game. If you draft Carnell Tate, you're not drafting him because you're going to save money at the wide receiver position. You drafted him because you think that he's going to be wide receiver 1. People in the comments like, I don't think he's a wide receiver 1, but positional value says you should draft. Bro, that sounds stupid. If he was Jeremiah Smith, I would run to the podium and put the pick in for him. But he's not Jeremiah Smith. He's Carnell Tate, and you'd be taking a chance either whether he's going to be a great wide receiver or another wide receiver too. And these same people that don't want you to spend record-breaking money on Jeremiah Love, they don't want to answer this question in the comments. Who led the Tennessee Titans in touchdowns last year? Tony Pollard with 5. That is pathetic. The Tennessee Titans was one of the worst short yardage teams and worst red zone teams I've ever seen since Derrick Henry left. We used to command an 8-man box, and you're either going to sell out to stop Derrick Henry or you're going to let the quarterback have a 2-man game on the bootleg. That's literally it. Against the Lions last year, 1st and goal from the 1, no points. Against the Chargers, no points. How many times did we get stopped in short yardage versus the Chargers running a stupid orbit motion because we don't have a running back that can score points or a receiver that can score points? All right, I'm gonna go easy on y'all. What happened the year before? Nick Westbrook-Akine, the Honda, led us with 9 touchdowns. It's pathetic. We've been 3 or 4 years since we had somebody have double-digit touchdowns. We need people that can Russell Westbrook when they get in the hole. But you got these nerds sitting here telling y'all, well, the running back is going to make a lot of money. Like, even if you got David Bailey, Arvell Reese, or Ruben Bain, if you paid them the $50 million guaranteed that he's going to get at pick 4, if they don't have 10 sacks next year, positional value says, yeah, all right. So how the Giants look getting Abdul Carter and he got benched. And James Pierce Jr. wound up leading all rookies with almost 10 sacks. Do you believe in the player or do you not believe in the player? You freed up cap space to be able to do whatever you wanted to do. And if Jeremiah Love was to get drafted by the Tennessee Titans and go over 10 touchdowns, have 1,000 yards rushing, and have 400 or 500 yards receiving, and make this an offense that can score and can pick up first downs in 2nd and inches, 3rd and inches, 4th and inches, we don't run the quarterback sneak. They ran the quarterback on the goal line against the Jaguars in the final week after y'all cried about him running and what happened. He got teed off on and Cam got hurt. Oh, it's a Cam issue. No, it's not. Because when other teams like the Ravens have their tight end run the QB sneak because they don't want to get Lamar and Rodgers hurt, you don't say the same thing. You don't have the same energy. So stop crying about positional value at pick 4 and pick the player you believe can impact your team. I've never seen people be so worried about about how much money this rookie at pick 4 is going to get in roster bonuses. I've never seen nothing like it. So let's go a little further. Who was the 4th pick? Let me ask y'all. I know who it was. Who was the 4th pick in the draft for the Patriots last year? Who was the 4th pick for the Patriots last year? I know who it is. Y'all know. Some of y'all probably do. Some of y'all probably don't. I'm gonna see if some of y'all can guess. It's Will Campbell, left tackle that got them all the way to the Super Bowl. Did he get trashed on by some veteran players in the Super Bowl? Yes, but it wasn't all his fault. He got them to the Super Bowl starting at left tackle. Will Campbell out of LSU, left tackle. Guaranteed money, 4 years, $43 million. Average salary, $10.9. How much of his $43 million was in roster bonuses? $28 million. Stop listening to these nerds. They want to give you half the story. The other part of the story is he got a $43 million contract and $28 million of it is signing bonuses. Go back. What is his base salary? $1 million a year. And they're paying him $7 million a year in signing bonuses and prorated money over in roster bonuses. Don't let these people try to fool y'all. This is exactly what this is. I'm going to give you half the story. I'm not going to tell you the other half. I don't care how much money Amy pays Jeremiah Love. I don't care how much you would pay Ruben Bain. I don't care how much they're paying Will Campbell. At the end of the day, when you pick a draft pick, I'm not picking a player by saying how much money is he going to make at that position. Obviously, we're going to be saving money at the QB position for the next 3 years. They got plenty of cap space. Pick the player you believe in. Stop this nonsense with positional value in the draft. If you think Sonny Styles is going to turn into Fred Warner, you get him. If you think Caleb Downs is going to turn into Brian Dawkins, you get him. If you think Jeremiah Love is going to be like Jahmyr Gibbs or CMC or Saquon Barkley or Alvin Kamara, you go get him. Because these same people told y'all, man, Derrick Henry then ran out of trade. He ran for 1,900 yards for the Baltimore Ravens the next year and 1,500 yards last year. Do you care about positional value? Derrick Henry is absolutely worth $20 million. He's worth $25 million, and he's worth $30 million if he was still on the Tennessee Titans, because we're sitting here watching Dan Moore get a guaranteed $20 million to play left tackle, and y'all sitting here arguing with me about how much money Derrick Henry get. I don't care about positional value when we talking about superstar players. How many players do we sign in the last decade don't have the impact of Derrick Henry, but you paying them more money than Derrick Henry? At the end of the day, you pay your stars, the people that you don't feel are worthy of being paid. You don't pay a position tax because you're a bad team. That's dumb management. You go a different route. You find different ways. But if they don't draft Jeremiah Love by worrying about how much money it's going to make, that is absolutely stupid. Considering the track record of the picks that they were picked by chasing a need, chasing a left tackle, chasing a right tackle because you didn't want to pay Conklin, chasing a cornerback, and it's never worked. Stop chasing and just pick the player that's best available that you know is going to be great. I had to get through that spiel because I was fired up about that. Let me get back through the comments and see what y'all talking about over here, man. I got to get caught up in the comments. I was fired up. Like the headband Dre Day, I love it. That's why I told y'all when they did the reveal, I was literally DMing Gunnar Helm and Cedric Gray because I seen they had the dry fit headbands and I need one. Somebody said RVL Reese at 4. If they believe in RVL Reese, take him. He said Bishop Sankey is Bishop Sankey. Thank you. You don't replace, you add on. Talk to him, Corey. We definitely going for the love. He said the cap is not real. Just ask the Rams. Talk to me. That's what I'm saying. We get to the point that the second round picks are going to be drafted and guaranteed contracts. I don't care about that. I care. Do you care about how much money they make in first and second round? Or do you care about if your first and second round picks are good players? You think the Seahawks care how much money guaranteed they paying Nick Emmanwori? No, they don't care. $9 million with 5 fumbles. Nah, what up? He said, man, Jake Locker stole $50 million. He did. Titan historian. Jake Locker stole $50 million, bro. And we was fighting with Mariota on his contract, which probably would have been about 80 million in 4. And we wound up giving Ryan Tannehill 120 million in 4. His last year was guaranteed, and Julio Jones' contract was stacked on top of it. We couldn't move him and got stuck in the draft and wound up tanking the roster with J-Rob. That, like, people got to put all the pieces together and stop leaving parts of the story out. Like, we almost lost Derrick Henry trying to sign Ryan Tannehill because the positional value of quarterback, threw 3 picks against the Bengals and got mad when we drafted a quarterback in Malik Willis. 17 points for 2. Like, people that don't want Jeremiah Love over contract value also will say the Titans have scored 30 points 4 times in the last, 3-4 years. Going all the way back to that Dolphin game, we scored 30 points 4 times. And we went from Derrick Henry being one of the greatest red zone teams ever to being absolutely abysmal. Every Titan fan knows if we cross the 50, if we get in the red zone, just get ready for Randy Bullock and Joey Slive and the kickers to come out because we're not finna score points. What I'm talking about, listen to it again and pass the blunt. Will Campbell. He said he a cone. I ain't gonna lie, Will Campbell is better than Dan Moore. It's propaganda, Big Jeff. Titans media never gave a good reason why taking Love at 4 is bad. They was behind the ball, Dre. They couldn't tell you why. He's Jeremiah Love is what you call an exponential growth. If you put him in a position, the linebackers change, the safeties change, the way the play action looks. Like, you remember Derrick Henry? They had that stat out that in the Titans era, when Derrick Henry was on the field, they played single high safety 80% of his snaps. It dictates what the defense has to do. Teams play us in 2 high safeties and just dare us to try to throw in windows with being able to protect. Watch Alabama last year. When Bama couldn't run the ball, Georgia ran 2 high safeties and Indiana ran 2 high safeties and dominated Alabama in the SEC championship and dominated them in the playoffs because with twin high safeties, Ty Simpson's got to hold the ball away for people to get open, and the linebackers was not looking in the backfield. Neither were the safeties. They literally was just focused on their man. The cap went up this year, Corey. Took Zeke at 4. And when y'all was winning games with Zeke, who cares how much money he was getting paid, bro? Going 5 to the Giants is a good spot to take him. Exactly, bro. Like, at the end of the day, do you believe this player is going to impact your team in a great way? That's what a first round pick is supposed to be. And you can't try to, if you lose a receiver, you can't try to go get a receiver. That didn't work with Treylon Burks. It didn't work with Jack Conklin. You can't try to replace player for player and try to save money that way. You really have to go opposite. You really have to go away. If you lose a great offensive player, you need to go get a great defensive player. You just need to do like that. I'm going to be a little salty too, Corey. Unless one of the defensive players they take winds up being the second coming. You see what I'm saying? That's the only way I see that. He said positional value is overrated for great players, period. They need to stop letting greats walk because of the money. That's why the Titans leave it. Exactly. You arguing with A.J. Brown, who's arguably the best receiver they ever drafted, and watch him go to 2 Super Bowls. The year we let A.J. Brown go, he had more receiving yards himself than our entire receiving core. We had Robert Woods out there with 400-500 yards. It was terrible. Treylon Burks never did anything. And we looking back on that, you was arguing with A.J. Brown over $25 million a year, which he would have took 20 to stay with the Titans at the time because he was a second round pick. Then you wind up giving Calvin Ridley $28 million, was going to make $28 million this year before they, so you was going to give Alec Pierce more than A.J. Brown, and you gave Calvin Ridley the money that you would have gave A.J. Brown. It doesn't make sense. You arguing with Derrick Henry over 12 to 15 million, but you freely give Dan Moore and Lloyd Cushenberry big money. It doesn't make sense. All I know is Derrick Henry is a Hall of Fame running back, and Lloyd Cushenberry at best is an average starting center. Do you believe in the player or don't you believe in the player? Impulse, love and light. B Walker, what's good, player? Got to throw a smoke screen. Corey Davis earlier didn't work out. Well, you got to hold on. Corey Davis was a great run blocker. He had some huge games. The overtime dunk against the Eagles. I just think that they probably should have paid Corey Davis the $10 million before he went to the Jets. Corey Davis and AJ Brown was a formidable duo on the outside, even though it didn't work out. Past him dunking on us when he came back with the Jets on Jackrabbit and them. Corey Davis was worth $10 million. He was an 900,000 yard receiver that run block, a good red zone threat. You know, like we got to an AFC championship with him being a wide receiver too. He wasn't a bad pick. He wasn't Caleb Farley or Isaiah Wilson. Rashaan Evans. Man, 2 times. If your team pass on a player you really want because of contract at pick 4, if you're scared of the contract, trade out of 4. Just trade out of 4 if you're scared of the contract. Because the only difference is in the first round pick, they all gonna make $4 or $5 million a year on average. It's just whether you got picked in the top 5 or you got picked top 10, 15 at the end, your bonus money changes. Cam Ward make $48 million, and most of his roster, and $32 million of his $48 million is roster bonus. Will Campbell getting 43, and you seen like $27 million. All but the 15, 16 million average pay is going to be in bonuses. I don't care how much money check that Amy has the right for Cam Ward or Jeremiah Love. Yeah, and like I would have been tripping about Chig, but like paying Chig $10 million a year when Isaiah Likely and Kyle Pitts was on the board, I can go for $10 million for Kyle Pitts. But not Isaiah Likely. We got Bellinger for like $6 million cheaper, and he's gonna be better in the system we running. I think that they wouldn't have had if Chig would have stayed as tight end, I think Chig would have wound up being tight end 3. Because like when you go twin tight ends to help out the tackles, you know, as bad as our tackles played to start last year, you're gonna want those twin tight end 12 personnel sets. I'm definitely not angry, Rich. I'm excited. That's what I'm saying, Jeff. Like, people start talking about Ashton Jeanty, but if Ashton Jeanty look good with Kubiak this year, they're gonna shut up because Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson look like the next superstars in the league. Man, talk to me, Coleman. Mike, what's popping? I'll do that, Titan. Hey, put that in my YouTube comments, and I'll go back and I'll make a whole video about that for you. Yeah, we almost to the draft, Mike. Man, I'm going to drop this episode, and I'm going to drop the Vintage Titan thrift episode. I appreciate y'all that's been tapping into my vintage, my thrift hauls. This was a vintage piece. This was Javon Curse. Hopefully by the next episode, I'll have some more Vintage Titan pieces to show y'all. Make sure y'all run up the reactions on all the social media platforms. The kids is about to be here making all kind of noise. So I'm about to end the video. It's a Sunday. We about to fire the grill. We got some Blue Moons. Cheers, man. Appreciate y'all so much, man. Y'all have made this switch up in the journey way, 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 way more bigger than I thought it could have been. And we're just getting started. So tighten up. Shout out to all y'all out there, man. Y'all OGs in the shop that make things work. These episodes is both going up today. I appreciate y'all, man. God first in the chat. And y'all know what to do. Hit that subscribe, like, comment, share. Tap into the daily uploads at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you missed the live streams, you got picture in picture. And if I don't get to any questions during the live streams or the pods, drop them in the comments. I'll make it part of the weekly mailbag. If you're following on the blue, smash those reactions. I know you're OG. Hit that like, comment, share, tap into the daily content that is the shop. If you're new to the shop, you definitely should be tapped in on the green. No ads, up to 50 emotes free for just being a follower. You do not have to be a supporter to unlock. Picture in picture, late night streams. Follow us on Kick. We also live on Twitch. Look out for the drops, as well as if you have Amazon Prime, it's free 99 to sub to the channel once a month. Don't let Jeff Bezos stick that money back in his pocket. If you don't use it on the shop, use it on another content creator that you like. I still call it Twitter, but follow us on X. We tweet back. Yo, if you missed the daily shop talks, make sure you tap in for the late night cap on the purple and the green. The Discord is always open. Outside of subs, donos, and cash apps, is also another way to support the content. That's by grabbing a trucker hat, a bandana, hoodies, the classic barbershop, Vibe Nation, right out of the official merch store on Tactic, formerly known as Geeks Unleashed. Code Buddha at checkout to